What's up, everybody? It's your boy Montez. I got a new special edition of Mine and Montez. While I'm driving, I understand. But the special is about the rankings today. So this weekend was crazy. Number 1 team in the nation lost. Number 3 team in the nation lost. And we got Bama, which everybody's saying it's a struggle win. But with all the injuries, you know, I don't feel like it was struggle. It was Mississippi State at Mississippi State. I just wanted to talk about the rankings. I want to tell you my top 6 teams that I think that should be in the top 6. And y'all tell me what y'all think, because I feel like when I see these rankings tonight, I feel like a team is going to get very disrespected that I feel like should still probably be in the top 6. So, without further ado, let me just go ahead and get to the point. So, Auburn is, 8-2. They demolished Georgia, and I agree with that. They look impressive. Georgia can do nothing with them. They look like world beaters. But my thing is, okay, so you had Georgia number 1, Alabama number 2, Notre Dame number 3, Clemson number 4. Now it comes down to this. To me, I think the number 1 team in the nation is Alabama. I think the number 2 team in the nation is Miami. Now, after those two, it comes down to where you put Wisconsin. And then, to me, it's like, who is the best one-loss team in your opinion? So, now I've been thinking about this hard and long. Okay, so it kind of played out kind of like I wanted it to this weekend, but it played out great. So, to me, the number 1 team in the nation, like I said, is Alabama. The number 2 team in the nation is Miami. Now, who is the best one-loss team in your opinion? The best one-loss team to me is Oklahoma. So I'm putting Oklahoma there at number 3. They, like, if you looked at their schedule, the games they played, yes, they don't have any defense, but their offense cannot be stopped, like, by anybody. So, yes, I'm going with Oklahoma at number 3. Number 4, this is where I think the committee gonna have a problem, because I think 1, 2, and 3 are clear and cut and dry. Now, number 4. Now, I have a debate, because a lot of people say rank Auburn in front of Georgia, but my thing is Georgia has 1 loss. Yes, they lost against the number 10 team in the nation, but they're about to move up, so you're gonna say technically they lost against, I don't know, the 5, the 6, or the 7, or the 8 team in the nation. But my thing is, I think I will put, I don't like Clemson being in the top 5. I don't like Clemson being in the top 4, because it's like they're getting credit for, yeah, their wins, but they're not getting, you know, they're not getting penalized for who they lost to. They lost against Syracuse. They're on the road, yes, but they still lost to a team that's 5-5. They have not cracked the top 25 not one time this year, but they get their praise. They get like, oh, we're gonna put them in the top 4, but for what though? For what? Their loss look. If you say who's the one-loss team that one loss looked the worst, it is Clemson. Clemson 1 loss looks worse than Georgia's, who lost against Auburn, a ranked team, and is worse than Oklahoma, who lost to Iowa State, who have been ranked and beating people and upsetting people this whole year. So if you say who is the worst one-loss team, the worst one-loss team to me is Clemson. I'll put Georgia in front of Clemson. So if you're gonna, to me, I think, this is just me. To me, I think Alabama 1, Miami 2, Oklahoma 3, Georgia 4. I understand that Auburn beat the dog start out of them, but they only have 1 loss. 1 loss to a really good team. 1 loss that, like I said, it's a really good team. Like, you put Georgia in front of us for a reason. You said Georgia has played the hardest schedule. Look at their whole body of work, and you had them ranked number 1 the whole time. So, and they lost. They got stomped by Auburn. Yes, they got stomped. But I don't want to hear the excuse of Clemson lost their quarterback halfway through that game versus Syracuse. But they defense didn't lose nobody. And Syracuse just kept scoring and scoring and scoring on them. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Because if people actually want to look at something, Georgia was ranked number 1 in the nation. And guess who they playing with? They're playing with their backup quarterback. Their starter quarterback has been back since like week 4. And they've been winning consistently with their backup quarterback. So I don't want to hear that excuse that Georgia mean that Clemson lost with their backup quarterback. I don't want to hear that, because if Bama put their backup quarterback in, there's not no one team in here that don't think Bama will still win. Because we will. So I think Bama number 1, Miami number 2, Oklahoma number 3, Georgia is...
Vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Sorry about that. Got my GPS on. But Georgia is, sorry about that. Georgia is the second best one-loss team to me. So I'm going Georgia number 4. Yeah, they dropped. It's not like, okay, they dropped from number 1 to number 4. They still dropped. And they only got 1 loss. So then, who is the 5 and 6 team? Now, to me, the 5 would be Wisconsin. They beat a pretty impressive team last week. They beat finally a ranked team on their schedule, and they beat Iowa. But I think you got to do the same trial and error that you did with Miami. You said, okay, let's see how they look against Virginia Tech. And then you said, okay, now we're going to really know how good they are when they play Notre Dame. And they showed you how really good they are. They beat the brakes off Notre Dame. And they beat the brakes off Virginia Tech. So that's what makes them the number 2 team in the nation. Now, number 5 team, to me, like I said, is Wisconsin. Now, the 6 team. Now, the 6 team will be a 2-loss team. But I have a debate about that 6 team. Auburn looked phenomenal. But Auburn 2 losses came to Clemson and... I just thought about something. Well, you can put Clemson at number 6, but I don't think Clemson deserves to be in that top 4. But you can put Clemson at number 6. Sorry, the sun is blurry. But you can put Clemson at number 6. But if you want to put a 2-loss team at number 6, and if you want to put Auburn, I get it, because how they dominated the number 1 team in the nation. But I think there's a 2-loss team that got a better resume than Auburn that can say, wait a minute, we should be the best 2-loss team. And that 2-loss team is Notre Dame. Who losses look more impressive? Auburn's, who can say, I lost against number 24 or 25 LSU, and I lost against, at that time, number 4 Clemson. That's your 2 losses. And you can say, yeah, but I beat the number 1 team in the nation. Yes, but your 2 losses came to LSU, and it came to Clemson. But Notre Dame has 2 losses, and guess what they can say after this week? I lost against Georgia, the number 1 team in the nation, by 1 point, and then I lost against the number 2 team in the nation in Miami. Who 2 losses look more impressive? A team that lost against the number 1 team in the nation, the number 2 team in the nation, or a team that lost against the number 24th team in the nation and the 4th team in the nation? I think Notre Dame resume says that they had 2 better losses than Auburn. What do you think? But if you're going to say top 6, I say Alabama, Miami, Oklahoma, Wisconsin. Alabama, Miami, Oklahoma, Georgia, Wisconsin, and then you can put Clemson at number 6. That's because they only have 1 loss. Now, I just need to make this statement for anybody who think that Bama should not be number 1. And I know, and I think Wisconsin going to get tested this weekend when they play Michigan. And I think Michigan going to beat them. It's not me being biased. I've just been watching them lately, and we look like we can beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin look impressive, but that was their first game they ever played a team that they challenged. If you looked at Michigan actually got one of the toughest defenses in the nation to beat. And every game they keep, they look close. I don't even know how they're not in the top 25. Everybody talk about they haven't beaten anything. But Wisconsin haven't beaten anything. Yeah, they're undefeated, but they haven't played any ranked teams but 1. When you look at Michigan losses, they lost to Michigan State by 4 points, 10-14, And they lost against, and they got beat down by Penn State because Penn State had that revenge factor going on. But now, my last Final Four is about Bama. Why Bama should be the #1 team in the nation, why there shouldn't be any arguments, why people shouldn't even be questioning it. Because I think Bama showed you time and time again, yes, you can go off the pad, but you can go off this year. I'm going to ask everybody this question. I really want some feedback on this. If you lined up every top 25 team in the nation, every last one of them, all 24 of them, versus Bama, who is the favorite? If they said who is going to be the underdog in that game versus anybody in the nation, who is the favorite? Bama is the favorite against everybody in the nation. No matter what, Bama is the favorite. So for anybody who to say that Bama's not the #1 team in the nation, something must be wrong with you. How you the #1 team in the nation and you're the underdog to another team? Bama is not the underdog to anybody. That's what makes them the #1 team in the nation. You can line them up against Oklahoma, Bama the favorite. You can put them against Miami, Bama the favorite. You can put them against Georgia, Auburn, Bama the favorite. When you look at the line, it's going to say Bama is the favorite to win that game. So that what makes them the #1 team in the nation. Any team in the top 25 that you line up against Alabama, Alabama is the favorite. So I don't want to hear anything about, well, maybe this team should be ranked #1. But are they the favorite against Alabama? So how can they be #1? So you can say that's biased. You can say whatever that want. That is just a fact. Alabama is not an underdog against nobody. And for anybody who think Alabama can't win defensive games or shootouts, I think Alabama has proven to everybody they can win any type of game. I think when Bama defense struggle, they offense put up points. Bama puts up points. I don't know why people get this notion that we can't score or something like that. We put up points when we need to put up points. We play defense when we need to play defense. Bama is the only team to me that can play any kind of game against anybody. If you want to have a shootout with Oklahoma, Bama will be right there in that game having a shootout with Oklahoma. Look at the last two national championships. Everybody said our defense was top. And what happened? We had shootouts. The scores was like over 40. Both teams. We had shootouts, but we were scoring right along with them. So my thing is this. Bama is the only team that said if you want to play a defensive game, we can play a defensive game. If you want to play an offensive game, we can play an offensive game. Bama can beat you at all phases. With a new quarterback, with a young quarterback, with an old quarterback, it doesn't matter. Give Nick Saban his respect. Give Bama their respect. We're not an underdog against anybody, and we're not going to be the underdog against anybody. We are the #1 team in the nation, and shouldn't be no debating. And even with injuries, that's my main thing. Even with injuries, we are still better than most teams in the nation. So I would love to hear everybody's opinion on this. This has been another Montez. Everybody have a great day, and roll tide.